50 years ago, our founder, Bob Craig, a surrogate father to me, had a visionary idea that the most complex, divisive issues could be addressed through not confrontation, but collaboration. He believed in the power of civil discourse, of listening deeply, and of bringing people together to find common higher ground. It was a radical idea at the time, and apparently it's still a radical idea today. From those early days in the Colorado Rockies, Keystone has grown into a national force for dialogue and problem solving. Whether we're helping bridge divides on education, natural resources, energy, or agriculture, we forward Bob Craig's founding belief that progress is possible when people come to the table with open minds and a shared commitment to solutions. We're not naive. We understand the push of politics that is pulling at our civil society today, but we still believe that there are pathways forward.
So, Christine, as you noted, Keystone, like TNC, is all about bringing together people from different walks of life, different philosophies, different life experiences. And one of the things that we're so proud of is the collaboration that we've done really in kind of two big areas. One is place-based work in Colorado and in the West, specifically working with Ernest House on, and thank you, Ernest, for all your collaboration over the years, on really how we work better and be the best partners that we can be to tribal peoples and indigenous nations around the US and around the world. We've been collaborating very well with Keystone, bringing, again, partners together to really help solve some of the biggest problems of the West, and that, of course, is water. And one of the things we're also really proud about in collaboration is working with Julie Shapiro and her team on the recent Colorado outdoor strategy, and really having not only a vision for what Colorado outdoors should look like going forward with the pressures of lots of people coming to the state and climate change, et cetera, but also having really clear measurable outcomes of what that will look like going forward. So we're absolutely thrilled about the collaboration over 40 years with Keystone and look forward to another 40 more.
First and foremost, there's comfort in numbers. When people are going through a rather significant transformative changing period, where change is occurring and change is occurring at a very rapid rate, you can sometimes be overwhelmed. But when you enter into a collaboration, then you realize that the people in that room share the same feelings that you have, and there's actual comfort in numbers. There's also the opportunity in that collaboration to fully appreciate and understand where the opportunity is within the challenge of the change. Oftentimes we see change as a problem. I think what we need to have is a mindset that we challenge ourselves to say, where is the opportunity in that change, in that challenge? I think a collaborative effort also stimulates creative thought. Keystone knows all about this. You honestly believe in the fact that if you put smart people in a room, committed people in a room, and you challenge them to come up with a common sense solution, that's 99 times out of 100 is what happens. And that's because creative minds working together, working off each other, result in better solutions than we might be able to get if we had just one set of mindsets in the room.
We had thought we had reached a stage of scientific development where future developments were predictable, that it was a straight line development, something you could draw on graph paper. And along has come artificial intelligence. It hasn't just arrived, but essentially only for a couple of years has the public at large been aware of it. And it is going to change everything. The way the steam engine changed everything, the way the airplane changed everything, the way the cell phone changed everything. And it's going to have a huge impact in every aspect of life. And it's going to have a large impact in the energy sector, on the management, particularly on the utility side, on the management of utilities, and not only on providing the electricity to keep AI going, but also its uses in the electric sector. We're going to wring more out of old systems with it, and we're going to conceive of new systems that were not possible.
The business we're in is a team sport, right? I mean, there are so many opportunities across the food value chain in the United States. I think we have the safest, most resilient food supply chain in the world, but it doesn't happen without collaboration and hard work across every part of it. And you know, when we think about our business, it starts on the farm. It ends in the store or in a pantry or with somebody eating a Cool Ranch Dorito. But at the end of the day, a Cool Ranch Dorito isn't a Dorito without corn. A Lay's potato chip isn't a potato chip without a potato. And you don't do that singularly. I mean, I have the privilege to lead a large organization that makes, moves, sells, and markets some of the world's leading food brands and beverage brands. But, you know, at our core, we're rooted in agriculture. It all starts there. And so that's why I think, you know, we don't have a business without highly motivated, well-trained people, and we don't have a business without farmers that grow. And so I think having a urgency around collaborating and doing things together is it's not just a good idea, it's an imperative.
Which I should end with saying is about people in dialogue with the news gatherers and their community. And that's why it has always struck me as one of the important things about Keystone, that it emphasizes the dialogue and keeps us going back and forth, trying to find the middle ground.
Rarely are you given an opportunity to receive this kind of recognition from an organization whose values you deeply share. And I think the work that Keystone Policy Center does is so vital in terms of restoring some of the structures within civic society that I think are broken right now. And it does dovetail, I suppose, with the question that you posed, because at least in the opportunities I've had to serve in public life, maybe it's unique to Colorado, I suppose, but we just do things a little differently. There's sort of a premium,
Better.
as you know. Well,
Better.
I would certainly say better.
Better.
You know, and all the Coloradans in the room would agree with me on that front. But I think there's a premium on trying to find common ground that is very unique to Colorado and kind of the ethos that we practice in our state. And so at every public service opportunity that I've had, whether it was serving in Governor Hickenlooper's cabinet as the head of the agency that you mentioned, where he would always remind us at every cabinet meeting. Of course, John is now in the United States Senate, but he would remind us every cabinet meeting there's no margin in making enemies. And that was kind of his mantra throughout his service as governor, and a reminder to everyone that at the end of the day, we were there to serve everyone. And I will say it's tougher, I think, today in this national political climate we find ourselves in that's sort of simultaneously bursting, you know, with empty noise, while at the same time, vitriolic, you know, kind of debate has engulfed the country. And it's very difficult in that kind of ecosystem to find common ground. But we do our best to chart a path forward, and that's, I think, what we're called to do. And obviously, Keystone Policy Center plays a vital role, I think, in doing the same.